Why do you wake up your victims while they're on the table?
I want to let them know what they've done.
Bullshit. You like to watch the light go out of their eyes.
This is Homicide Investigation Recording number 2 regarding the ongoing investigation of the King of the Fall, holder being Detective Asir Monroe of the Decker Metro Police Department. The following report concerns a secondary homicide investigation conducted within Helena, Montana. During the period of German Wolfgang's disappearance and presumed death, Helena law enforcement was simultaneously investigating a separate serial offender responsible for a string of kidnappings, torture incidences, and homicides spanning multiple years. The offender was labeled as Mikhail Lebedev, commonly referred to by local media as the Montana Dollmaker. Mikhail's known method of operation involved abducting victims, keeping them alive for extended periods of time, and subjecting them to prolonged physical and psychological torture. Upon death, victims were embalmed and altered to resemble dolls. Several recovered bodies displayed extensive cosmetic modifications and preservation techniques consistent with professional mortuary procedures. Following evidence gathered by the Helena Police Department, Mikhail voluntarily surrendered himself to law enforcement. His reasons for doing so remains unknown. Several investigators noted unusual behavior during questioning. Despite the severity of evidence against him, Mikhail appeared unconcerned regarding imprisonment or execution. 3 days before his scheduled preliminary hearing, Mikhail Lebedev was discovered deceased in his holding cell. Cause of death was determined to be decapitation. The circumstances surrounding his death remain impossible to adequately explain. At the time of death, the detention wing remained locked. No alarms were triggered, no unauthorized personnel were recorded entering the facility, and no tools or weapons capable of causing the injuries were recovered. The cell itself displayed minimal signs of a struggle. Here is the review of the surveillance footage. The only notable anomaly occurred between 2:13 a.m. and 2:18 a.m. During this period, multiple cameras within the detention block experienced visual distortion and intermittent static. Technical staff were unable to determine a cause. A figure is seen when footage resumed normal operation. Mikhail Lebedev was already deceased. Helena investigators initially treated the incident as a potential internal security failure. However, after reviewing similarities between German Wolfgang's case and multiple unresolved homicides linked to the individual known as King of the Fall, both departments reached the same conclusion. Sergeant Fatima Calloway and Lieutenant Eno Mavis believe King of the Fall is the primary suspect in Mikhail Lebedev's death. Neither investigator is capable of explaining how such an act could have been carried out. Current theories include prior military or law enforcement training, assistance from an unknown accomplice operating within the law enforcement, extensive surveillance of police facilities conducted beforehand, an unknown method of bypassing security systems, or factors presently outside of conventional explanation. The final theory has become increasingly controversial among personnel assigned to this investigation. Several officers involved in both Helena incidences have independently reported feelings of being watched while reviewing evidence connected to King of the Fall. No evidence exists supporting these claims, officially. As of this recording, the King of the Fall investigation remains active. The death of Mikhail Lebedev has been classified as a homicide. No suspect has been identified. No point of entry has been identified. No murder weapon has been identified. And no explanation has been identified. End recording.